Good morning. You're here with Chef Maggie from Indulgent Chef in my outdoor kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make artichoke and asparagus fritters. Okay, so in your kit that you receive in your Burlington Wine Club bag, you will also receive artichokes, freshly grated Parmesan cheese, fresh mint, gracefully donated from Teresa's garden, and of course asparagus. Now, aside from those ingredients, you will also need to have flour and eggs, and of course oil to fry the fritters in. Okay, so now we have our mise en place all ready to go, which means you have all your ingredients chopped up and ready to put together. Before we start that, we're going to preheat our pan of oil. You can use either vegetable, canola. I like to mix a little bit of vegetable and olive oil at the same time. We're going to preheat it to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I do have a handy dandy little infrared reader that I like to check the temperature of the oil. You can, if you don't have one of those, is use a wooden spoon. Dip the wooden spoon into the oil. If it starts to fizzle, it's ready to go. If not, use the old wives' tale, throw in a crust of bread. If it starts to fry up, it's all good. Okay, so now your oil is preheating. Let's mix all our wonderful ingredients together. Our artichokes, our Parmesan cheese, our freshly fine chopped mint. I love the smell of mint. We're gonna add our asparagus, finely chopped up asparagus. And we're gonna add our flour. Last but not least, we're gonna add in our eggs. Now, what I would suggest is you crack the eggs individually into a bowl and then toss them into your ingredients. Nothing worse than getting a crunchy eggshell in your actual recipe. So we're gonna individually drop it in there. We're gonna make sure there's no shells, and we're gonna continue on. Now, the great thing about these eggshells too is I like to toss them in my garden. I have a lot of little bunnies that like to come around and eat my wonderful flowers. So I like to crush them up, toss them underneath my soil, and they don't like that crunchiness feeling underneath their paws. All right, so we've got all our ingredients tossed into our big, beautiful bowl. We're gonna integrate everything, make sure everything's wonderfully mixed. And you should end up with a wonderful mixture of like a very wet product. Right? We've tossed in the egg and the flour, which is technically the binder. What's going to keep your fritters together so they don't fall apart when you actually start to fry them. It actually smells quite nice right now. Okay, so our oil at this point already should be hot enough. We're going to start dropping tablespoons of fritter batter into our hot oil. Now, I can make them bigger or you make them smaller depending on how many you want to have. Okay, so now we're ready to start frying up our fritters. Our oils are up to the proper temperature. I'm just using a regular tablespoon to portion it out and scoop it into the actual pan. Now, depending on the size that you want, you can adjust the sizing of the scoop. So I'm just going to drop it in. You can hear the sizzle already. That means the oil's at the perfect temperature. Since these are fairly small, they're not going to take very long at all. You want to make sure that before you turn them over, there's going to be a beautiful browning on the bottom. Already I can smell the actual asparagus and the Parmesan cheese. And also, don't overload or overcrowd your pan. It'll make it a lot easier to have to flip them over. So we're just going to let these cook probably for about 20 seconds. Just enough so that they're brown enough that you're able to easily flip them over. They smell divine. And these will go great with the Sauvignon Blanc that is part of your wine kit for this month. These would also go great with a great sparkling. They're fried, they're salty, perfect combination. So have it as an appetizer when you're inviting your guests out for nibbles. And I think we're almost ready to flip them over. You get a beautiful browning, as you can see. Almost half the fritter itself is already cooked, which just means we're ready to flip it over. There we go, beautiful. You want a nice golden brown on the bottom. Hence why don't overcrowd. It'll slide a little bit around the pan. Whew. That's okay, that'll be mine. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful coloring. And we're just gonna give that probably another 10-15 seconds. And then we're just gonna let them drain. I've got a pan here. Not toss them on some paper towels and let the paper towels take up all the oil. Now you want to best eat these warm. Not hot, but warm. Slice them up from the bottom. Perfect. We are done. We're just going to let them drain. Once they cooled off just a little bit, you'll be able to enjoy them with that beautiful glass of wine. And here we have our final product, our asparagus and artichoke fritters, which I've also made now in olive relish to go as an accoutrement. If you would like the recipe for that, just follow the link to my website and I'll have it posted on my website. We're enjoying it with our wonderful glass of Sauvignon Blanc. Enjoy, and in the words of Julia Child, bon appetit!
The restaurant manager is always watching over your shoulder. But she's so cute.